listen, you're going to have to figure some of this out for yourself. I can't give you all the answers.
Whoopi Goldberg has been a kind of an interesting character over her career in the media, often gaining attention due to her unusual approach to certain topics. However, just a while ago, things really got more interesting, with talks of the FBI raiding and finding some really interesting things in her home. There have been debates on whether this is true or false, but we will bring you the details and let you be the judge. Let's get right into it. Whoopi Goldberg's career in show business has been nothing less than phenomenal. With decades of experience, she is one of Hollywood's most successful and versatile figures. From stand-up comedian to Emmy Award-winning actress, producer, writer, and TV host, Goldberg has done it all. Her career speaks to her work ethic, talent, and need to redefine herself time and again in an attempt to stay relevant in an evolving business. A turning point for Goldberg was in 1985 when she played a role in The Color Purple, a film that would cement her forever as a serious artist. Her role as Celie, the abused black woman fighting against the travails of life, was nothing less than riveting. She gained her first Oscar nomination for Best Actress for the performance and established herself as a serious actress. She proceeded to play a whole range of roles that were evidence of her talent and versatility. While the dramatic roles left her audience impressed, comedy brought her into every living room. She was a household name doing stand-up with crisp one-liners, sarcasm, and never hesitant to address sensitive topics. Goldberg discussed race, sex, and politics in a humorous manner and thus earned respect as well as admiration. Her first solo Broadway show, Whoopi Goldberg, direct from Broadway, proved her comedic brilliance, and she won a 1986 Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album. She was one of the few women to take her style of comedy this far and become a fixture in both the world of comedy and drama as well. Goldberg peaked as a movie actress in the 1990s with a string of box office hits that made her a bona fide movie star. She was the second black woman to have been awarded an Oscar. The award was historic and groundbreaking for all other black women and proof that Hollywood could no longer turn a deaf ear to her abilities. Goldberg subsequently appeared in films like Sister Act and its sequel, Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. The films were blockbusters, and Goldberg performed as Dolores Van Cartier, a singer in a nightclub who goes into hiding in a convent while taking over the choir. The films themselves were not only blockbusters but phenomena of culture, and Goldberg's performances were a success anywhere in the globe. Aside from acting, Goldberg experimented with other sources of entertainment in the industry, demonstrating she could not be boxed into one area. She was a TV personality and producer, creating shows that reflected her personality and worldview. She presented the Academy Awards on several occasions, bringing humor to one of Hollywood's most glamorous nights. Her stage presence and skills made her a first choice to anchor big events. Her best work on television is likely her long-term job as a moderator on The View. Since her arrival on the show in 2007, Goldberg has spoken freely as an advocate of daytime television, arguing and jousting about politics, society, and culture. She has made The View extremely successful, bringing life, experience, and irreverent humor to the show. Despite controversies that have followed her since her arrival on the show, Goldberg's stint has led her to become one of television's most familiar faces. Besides presenting and performing, Goldberg ventured into production, having worked on a number of productions in television as well as film. She mounted Broadway productions like Thoroughly Modern Millie and Sister Act, the musical, to demonstrate that she was able to adapt hit films to the stage. She has also strengthened her grip as a producer in the industry because she still makes contributions on and off screen. Goldberg's fame extends beyond cinema. She has authored a couple of books on topics from lifestyle to children's books. Her books like Book and Is It Just Me? Or Is It Nuts Out There? Give a sense of what she has to say regarding life, politics, and society. Her own legacy will never be forgotten, as she has received numerous honors and awards throughout her life. In addition to her Oscar and Grammy, she has won an Emmy and a Tony Award as well, becoming a member of the exclusive group of performers in the EGOT category. This feat breaks a record that puts her on the elite list of multi-skilled entertainers who have achieved success in more than one area. Her net worth is pegged at $60 million, which she has earned from acting, TV hosting, endorsements, book sales, and other business endeavors. She also invests in real estate and in the marijuana industry, as she is also an advocate of the use of medical marijuana as a painkiller and for other conditions. Maintaining the diversity of her source of income has been what has allowed her to stay economically independent and viable. However, Goldberg is still a polarizing figure, as she is both hated and loved due to her straightforwardness. She has broken down doors for women and minorities and proved that one can be successful with talent and drive. Her track record is one of grit, adaptability, and telling it like it is no matter what, and she's one of the legends of show business. Whoopi Goldberg has never been afraid of controversy, but the recent rumor of the FBI invading her home shook the very foundations of Hollywood and beyond. Federal officials allegedly descended upon her Los Angeles home under the cover of darkness to deliver a high-level search warrant, reports indicate. The raid was described as swift and meticulous, with black sport utility vehicles flooding local streets and tactical teams withholding information as police searched the property. What they allegedly found hidden under her floors stunned many, fueling infinite speculation about what could be happening behind closed doors. Sources familiar with the case indicate the search led the investigators to hidden spaces beneath the floor of her house, where they allegedly uncovered vacuum-sealed cash, classified documents, and other unidentified materials. The rumors of classified documents raised eyebrows, with some wondering how Goldberg had come to possess this sensitive information. There are also some theories that she had some sort of relationship with powerful people, and some assume that she was merely a collector of this type of inflammatory material without an understanding of what type of trouble this would land her in. Either way, the arrival of federal agents at her apartment looking for these materials has only further fueled more interest. Adding to the drama also is Goldberg's absolute refusal to comment on the affair. Contrary to her quick remarks in earlier scandals, she has remained silent so far on the rumors, and most suspect that behind the scenes, lawyers are running to patch up the leaks. There are rumors that she has gone underground, staying out of public sight until the matter can be smoothed over. Meanwhile, ABC officials were reportedly split on whether or not to keep her The View hosting gig amid the scandal. There are reports from insiders that she could have been suspended temporarily while the probe continued, but so far no such announcement has been made. The said raid is just the latest among a string of controversies surrounding Goldberg recently. Though never intimidated, her directness has gotten her into hot water time and time again. Her first major career controversy occurred in 1993 at the infamous Friars Club roast of Ted Danson. Her boyfriend at the time took the stage and read off a series of racist jokes to a stunned audience. Goldberg, who had boasted of having helped with some of the writing, came to the performance's defense, arguing that it was satirical and in context. But the outcry was immediate and ferocious, with some left scratching their heads over how a high-profile black woman like her could possibly stand up for such an act. Although she did eventually drop it, it tarnished her public reputation in some people's minds, and some never forgave her. Years later, she was again in the news when she came to the defense of director Roman Polanski, who had escaped America after being convicted of having sex with a child. On an episode of The View, Goldberg famously stated that what Polanski had done wasn't rape, essentially stating that what he had done wasn't as cut and dry as everyone was painting it to be. Her statement outraged many. Although she attempted to retract what she had said subsequently, the harm was already done, and the scandal ranks as one of the most damaging of her career on television. Goldberg has also come under attack by the public on her stance against cancel culture, always rising in defense of those who have been attacked for being offensive in action or word. Goldberg has stated that people need to be given a second chance, and that society jumps too quickly at judging and condemning people out of context. While some support her, others view it as a move to shield herself from being held responsible. Her defense of Mel Gibson, a man with decades of racist and anti-Semitic remarks, only fueled the perception about her. Goldberg insisted that she had personally met Gibson and that he was not racist, in spite of mountains of evidence to the contrary. The majority perceived that she was using her celebrity status to excuse despicable behavior, painting her as someone who would stand behind influential men regardless of what they did. She also made headlines in 2022 after making incendiary comments on the Holocaust by saying on The View that it was not about race, but man's inhumanity to man. Her comments were widely criticized for being factually incorrect and exceedingly insensitive. The response had been so sensational that ABC had placed her on a 2-week suspension, an initial step that confirmed the gravity with which the affair had been treated. Some justified the move while others thought it excessive. With all these prior controversies, many believed the alleged FBI raid merely served to continue fueling the controversy that has plagued her all along. Most of her detractors consider it as an affirmation of their decade-long perception that Goldberg is not what she appears to be. The gossip that she may have been hiding something on her floors only fueled the speculations, and conspiracy theories went haywire on social media. Some genuinely feel that she had been secretly negotiating backroom deals for decades and years, and that this was simply the time when it all caught up with her. Others think that she is being unfairly targeted because she speaks too frankly, and that the FBI is being used as a tool to silence her. Whatever the truth may be, the consequences of these rumors have been unavoidable. Loyal fans who have stood by her all these years are wondering if they had even known her to begin with. Hollywood insiders, on the other hand, are said to be avoiding her, not wanting to be caught anywhere near a woman in a very public scandal. If true, it is still too early to ascertain what legal consequences Goldberg will have to bear and how this will impact her future career as a professional. With each passing day, there are more questions than answers. Did an FBI raid ever occur? What did they actually find underneath her floors? Most of all, what is Goldberg going to tell us when she eventually speaks out? Until then, these will remain rumors, and the world waits to hear how this new chapter in her life is unfolding. Whoopi Goldberg's personal life outside the workplace has been as fascinating as her professional life, with experiences, partners, and associates contributing to making her the person she is today. Even with fame and success, she has managed to hold on to parts of herself and independence, living according to her own terms. Her philosophy for marriage, relationships, and companionship has never been traditional, and she has never hesitated to give her honest opinion on love and human relationships. Goldberg has been married 3 times, but she has always been clear that marriage was never in her plans. Her first marriage was to Alvin Martin in 1973 when she was young and attempting to find her feet in the world. The union bore her one and only child, a daughter named Alexandria Martin, and Goldberg and Martin later parted ways. Though they parted in their relationship, the birth of Alex was one of the most memorable experiences in Goldberg's life. Having a child also gave her direction, and she stayed close to her daughter ever since, even during the height of her career. Her second marriage was to cinematographer David Clayson in 1986. Goldberg was already established in Hollywood by then, and the pressures of her fast-growing career could have been the source of tension between them. Their union did not last long and was dissolved in 1988 after 2 years. Her third wedding was to Lyle Trachtenberg, which did not work as well, lasting only 1 year. This left Goldberg questioning what marriage was and if she was fit for it or not. Goldberg has previously expressed her view on marriage and relationships by declaring she never felt at ease being a wife. She confessed to marrying because she felt it was the normal thing, and not because she desired to. This led her to adopt an independent way of life, choosing companionship of her own choice and not acting like everyone else. In spite of her unconventional beliefs regarding marriage, Goldberg has discovered satisfying relationships. She has dated famous men in the past, such as actor Ted Danson, whom she had a very public and scandalous relationship with during the early 1990s. The reason they made headlines was not just because they were both famous, but also because Danson was married. They did end up breaking up, but it remains one of the most talked about parts of Goldberg's personal life. Although she perhaps did not have a particularly high-profile affair, her role as mother and grandmother has been everything to her. Her daughter Alex is also in the entertainment industry as an actress and producer. From Alex, Goldberg was a grandmother at an early age, and she has taken to the role very enthusiastically. She has continued to talk about how much she adores her grandchildren and how they bring another layer to her. Beyond her family, Goldberg has built a close-knit network of friends and co-workers who have become a second family. She has always been friends and longtime buddies with people from varied backgrounds. She has other performers and activists within her circle who are socially aware as well as artistically inclined. Her longest best friend is Billy Crystal, and she has enjoyed the experience of sharing the stages with him many times. Robin Williams was also a very important figure in Goldberg's life. The two friends met during the time when they were beginning their careers and stayed close until Williams passed away in 2014. Both of them were very humorous and loved to laugh, and this created a bond that no one could ever destroy. Goldberg has, on many occasions, revealed just how much she loved Williams. His death was a sorrowful tragedy, and she has remained dedicated to keeping his memory alive by still explaining how much he had introduced into her life. Aside from her friendships, Goldberg has also been working diligently on humanitarian and philanthropic endeavors, which have exposed her to others who want to make a difference as well. She has also collaborated with various organizations dedicated to assisting children, LGBTQ+ rights, and people suffering from critical illnesses. Working for these charities, she has met individuals who have inspired her and reminded her of the importance of giving back through her platform. Goldberg is equally famous for her fondness for animals, or more specifically, her pets. She has had a pretty large number of cats and dogs as pets throughout the years and has been talking about them all the time. She adores animals as much as she enjoys caring for people, showing the nurturing side of her life, although she normally comes across as a loner. Throughout her life, Goldberg has built an independent life contrary to what society anticipates. She has never been driven to adapt to relationship or marriage expectations or the way women should live. She loves her life, her family, her friends, and the causes she is committed to. While criticized for her way of life, she has never attempted to appease public opinion, but to be herself completely. In so many words, Goldberg's life is an extension of her larger-than-life personality. She values honesty, independence, and authenticity, both of which have gained her fans and critics. She has managed to maintain a sense of self that is not typical in show business. She has established actual relationships on her own terms and positioned herself around people who love and understand her. As she forges ahead, Goldberg clings to the belief that happiness comes from living a genuine life. Whether it is in her relationships with fellow artists, in activism, in the love of her daughter and grandchildren, or in the mere enjoyment of time spent with pets, she has discovered happiness in unexpected ways. She has shown that love, friendship, and meaning can be discovered in many things, and that one must be oneself. Let us know what you think about the FBI controversy in the comments, and we will see you in the next one.